Dune Part 2 is a good movie. Seeing it for the first time, I was very overwhelmed. Second time I saw it, which was in IMAX, which confirmed I really like this movie and really this whole universe. I saw it a third time after that. The performances stuck out to me more. I could tell how much passion, how much planning went into making a movie like this. Now, I'm sure you've heard tons of people say what they think about this movie. This movie brought people to enjoy movies and have a pleasant conversation again, which is pretty cool. This movie really pulled me in, with its amazing sort of moral that is told in such a digestible way. Also, worms. And there's a lot of baldness. Alright, let's talk about what this movie sets out to do. The Dune movies are pretty good at weaving these huge concepts with incredible action pieces. The second part here carries more. The lacking set pieces never really hurt the first movie. That movie had a job of introducing us to the world, of which it did pretty well in my opinion. The intense action, one after another, definitely lifts this movie up. The sandworm scene is an example. Such a simple scene, elevated by visuals, humor, shock, and further showing how Paul is taking this role of the Messiah to the Fremen. That brings us to the Fremen. We get to see these people grow with such a cool and distinct look, with specific characters that really help us get a really good feel for these people all through the desert, which was captured as well as possible. How that affects one's soul and the very way it feels to be in the desert. The movie starts off with a mixed view of Paul. The Fremen both see signs and completely detest the idea of a Messiah. These two viewpoints continue in Shawnee and Stilgar. Now Stilgar is great. Stilgar contributes so much to this movie. Of course, Javier Bardem, an amazing actor, he's just very funny, which allows the audience to connect with him, giving a dead serious movie a bit of levity. While also, Stilgar is very complex. You see him question Paul and start his journey as a friend, a mentor he believes and wants to believe in him. He's been wrong a few times before, so he's not immediately blind to his faith in Paul or him being the Messiah. Throughout the film, we see this progress as we see him change. As the Fremen at large, they gain hope. They fully believe. He doesn't care anymore that Paul does not want him to believe. He believes, a friend to a fanatic. The other side of the Fremen is Chani. Zendaya plays this character very well, giving her believable and interesting perspective to conflict with Paul. We see that she's not so easily swayed, and see this whole Messiah thing was planted by the oppressors. She loves Paul, but fears that what he'll do is not save the people, but further oppress them. It's really cool to see this sort of perspective character for the audience, because as we'll get to, it's Frank Herbert's intentions was to give that Messiah to really see where Chani ends up. But as of this movie, she's a great character for the audience to get the message. Though there's a lot more to this character, I do think we need to wait for the third movie, Messiah, to really see where Chani ends up. Frank Herbert had to yell at people, and eventually just wrote a new book to say, hey, this guy, he's bad! These moments of character dissension are great, yeah? But what we're really here for is just the worms, alright? Right? Yeah. A good movie pulls me right back in. Dune Part 2 really reminded me how incredibly impactful a movie can be. It really blends meaningful with spectacle. It helps me feel like what I love in film is attainable. Denis shows us that someone truly passionate about a source material, something not super accessible in the mainstream eye, can be made to work and make it connect with people and have it be super successful. And of course, having a movie with this much visual care and craft, Greg Fraser and Hans Zimmer, who really lift the movie up. Like with the infrared cameras being used to make Gady Prime's Black Sun give the planet a unique look, representing the fascist ideals of the Harkonnens. Very cool. Anyways, worms. We're back to them again. They are used in such clever ways, both in the plot and in the visuals. Again, the worm scene. Look at that. Look at that. Come on. So much more than just a set piece. It has a significance for Paul, Fremen, and the pacing in the movie. Now, of course, Frank Herbert is the reason a lot of this story is the way it is. It's also helped by maniac performances, like Austin Butler. Also, Stalin delivers a performance. I just find I really like how he played sort of in a quiet manner, but with such a great presence. I don't know, I always like watch the Baron, I'm like, yes, more Baron, please. I don't know why, I just enjoy seeing how evil he is, but also just being so quiet. I don't know, his performances in general just elevate the film. Everyone's just like throwing 1,000% at this, as everyone tried their absolute best at every turn, obviously. Of course, can I forget about Tim? He blew me away with how just on top of things he became as the movie went on. He's a very big range. He goes from
up and listen down. Nope, scratch that. Reverse.
To
It is silence!
very good stuff, Tim. Thanks to Denis, he takes it and he really makes it work for what the intention of the book is. As a reader and a fan of movies, we can't always get what we want for two very different mediums. When you take a book and you put it on screen, you do it very well, you have really accomplished something. And Lynch, he tried something. Much like Lord of the Rings by Peter Jackson. Dune Part 2 captures the spirit of the book while adapting it pretty well to a live-action medium. And that brings me to our final thoughts. Dune Part 2 was great to see. I had not been to a theater in a while, and seeing a movie in a theater, one I was transfixed to, was a great experience. With its warnings of fanaticism to its incredible visuals and set pieces, Dune Part 2 accomplishes so much. And it's great to see a movie like this. It only comes once a blue moon. And the movie may not be perfect, but I will cherish it. Specifically, I do think that there are some things that are very abrupt. I will say I do think that things like Josh Brolin's character, how he kind of said that line after he did the big thing in the end, kind of isn't that good. There's also parts where I'm just like a little not unengaged, but I do think that there are certain things that were given too much screen time. And I also don't understand Denis' lack of wanting to do a longer cut. I think that would have really helped the movie if he had like another cut coming out, because there's so much I think that you could have expanded on. But yeah, I guess my only real complaint is that there's not more. So yeah, give me more. Alright, anyways, it inspires me to make me go out and do more with my own ideas. I just love movie. This is my first video, but it will not be my last. Thank you for watching.